SNAFU Season 2. What episode was this? 4 or 5? This was episode 5. SNAFU Season 2, episode 5. Man, this episode was just... Fuck, man. What? Honestly, I don't even see how this is a romantic comedy. Like, this shit is not a romantic comedy to me. This is a slice of life drama in a way. Now, there are comedic aspects to this series, but this shit is taking the romantic comedy genre and just shitting over it, because usually in a romantic drama or whatever, I mean in a romantic comedy, it's just kind of like we have the romance and the funny shit and the romance between the characters and the fun shit between the characters. No, this one just kind of like, there is the romance elements there. That shit is there. But it's drama. Drama. Weird interactions between the protagonist and the other supporting characters, and just more drama. Just like, what the fuck is happening? And that conversation between Hachiman and his sister was probably the realest conversation I've ever heard done in anime. Like, his sister actually said that if you weren't my brother, I probably wouldn't give you the time of day, and which I probably wouldn't. I would probably ignore you and keep my distance away from you, or some shit like that. She admitted the shit. She was like, based on your appearance and the personality that you project, you know what I'm saying, in public, I wouldn't fuck with you neither. But because I'm your sister, I know that you're nice. I know how you really are. You know what I'm saying? And she actually says, like, because I'm your sister, you know what I'm saying, you are nice to me, not necessarily because you are nice, but more out of obligation. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, wow, that's actually that's an adult thing to realize. They teenagers. That's some adult shit to realize, though, man. Like, she knows what type of person he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, more so probably than himself, because I think because, you know, he's been judged so harshly by his appearance with his eyes and people thinking that he's weird and all that sort of shit, that he has forgotten who he truly is, probably. You know what I'm saying? More than like, because he's been getting made fun of forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see that shit in season 1. Like, ever since he was in elementary school, he's been getting made fun of. So, like, he probably has forgotten the happy Hachiman that he could possibly have been. Like, it's impossible to find something that you can't even remember is lost. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't remember his true happiness, so he can't find it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point, there's no way for him to find something that he can't remember that he's lost. Because as far as he can remember, he's always been this way. He's always been alone, and as far as he's concerned, he always will be. But because of his interactions with his sister and his slow changing interactions with the members of the service club, we see the glimpse of what the Hachiman could possibly be. We see that. And I like that, you know. I like that this character is going through an internal struggle with himself, because more people are starting to care about him. That's what's causing this change. This change is being brought on by more people starting to care about him, because all he had at first was just the care of his sister. But now he has Yukino. He has Yui. He actually has the sensei. He has other people that genuinely care about his well-being and how his ultimate decisions lead to success on the part of someone else, but misery and despair on his own part. So, yeah. But in this episode, though, man, I like he comes up with a different solution how to help Iroha. He comes with a new solution. The new solution being that he actually fabricated support for her by having a list of people. He actually had, what's her name, Saki, I think? The chick who worked at the bar, whose brother didn't want her to work there because she was coming home later and later. That chick with the silverish sort of hair. He actually has her write up some people who she would want to see as president, and she named just all the popular people sort of there. So it was like Tobey and Hayato. He wasn't in this episode though, so I can't even, hate. I can't even be like, oh, fuck Hayato. He wasn't in here, so I have nothing to say about that motherfucker. But yeah, it was like Hayato and it was Tobey and just all these other popular people, you know what I'm saying? And he used those names to gone like fake websites in order to gain student support. And then he changed the names to Iroha's name and showed them to her. Like, hey, this is how many people support you. It's a third of the student body. And then he convinced Yui and Yukino that they couldn't win because, you know, this is the support of the student body. 1/3 of the student body already is supporting her right now. You guys are too far behind to generate any fucking support as of now, you know. And so those two drop out and Iroha becomes the new president. And the way that he convinces Iroha to become the president is that he was like, your classmates who put your name on here are probably laughing behind your back. So don't you want to do something? Don't you want to get even with them by being the best president that this school has ever seen? By winning this shit, they probably laughing thinking there's no way anyone's going to vote for you. How about you get all the votes? I was like, wow, Hachiman is a fucking smooth talking motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That was dope as shit. That was dope. But two things happened in this episode that I was just kind of like, ah, man, what the fuck, man? What is happening right now? So the one thing that happened was that Yui and Hachiman, to me, that was a moment, son. That was a moment. When I saw she, I was like, what the fuck? Like, she was thanking Hachiman, and she was just kind of like, you must haven't really been getting any sleep because your hair is a mess. And she's like, let me fix it for you. She goes over to him and she just like really petting his head and flattening the shit out. And he tried to move and she moved him back like, no, let me do this. And I was just like, ooh, like, that, to me, that was a moment. I was just like, oh, wow, like, that was a moment between that coupling. I'm like, holy shit. Second thing that happened was, as he showed the documentation to both Yui and Yukino was just, she said something along the lines of, I thought you would have understood, or something like that. Of all people, I thought you would be the one to understand, something like that. You know? And in that instance, in that very moment, I realized that her character is possibly the most complex. I didn't even realize it until just now. She wanted to do something to help Iroha, but she wanted to do something to help her own status as well. She is a person who is good at giving orders, is good at assessing the situation, but she's never the one to act, and that bothers her. This was the first time she was given the role of acting, and it was being taken away by the one person who acts all the time. So she would have thought that Hachiman would have understood why she was so desperate to do what she did. Which I think he did understand, but at the end of the day, he did it to save the club, disregarding how she felt about the situation. So I was just kind of like, wow, this is a complex character. You know what I'm saying? Yukino is a very, very complex character. You know what I'm saying? She has a void that can't be filled, you know what I'm saying, just by... honestly, man, it might be too late to actually fix her character. Like, I was thinking, like, maybe just having that balance of Yui and Hachiman would be enough, but I don't think it will be. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I don't think that's enough for her character, because her character is constantly in the shadow of her sister, and now, even with her being as smart as she is, as beautiful as she is, as creative as she is, honestly, in the service club, she's in Hachiman's shadow, because he is the most successful at handling these situations. She's in his shadow to me, you know what I'm saying? So she might have a complex about that shit, like, that she's constantly being overshadowed by people, because Hachiman, he gets the results, and he's able to see past all of this bullshit, and you know, he's able to act on this shit without any, you know what I'm saying, like, regard for like what happens to him. And she doesn't have that same will to act as he does, so she might feel, you know what I'm saying, like she might feel like conscious about that shit though, man. You know, that character is very complex. This series, part 2, is very, very complex. Like, part 2 has had like an extreme lack of comedy as compared to part 1. There are funny moments in part 2, but you know what I'm saying, part 1 was a lot more comedic. It had its serious moments, but it was a lot more comedic. Part 2 is just really, it's just real serious. It is a very serious thing. which I thought was, I think is dope. I think part 2 being more serious is dope. I think that's a better turnaround for the series. That is very, very serious. I also like the fact that that girl with the silver hair, I think her name is Saki, the one, again, her brother didn't want her out working at the place all the times of night because she wanted to come home, all that sort of shit. Is it kind of hinted that she likes Hachiman? Does she kind of like him? Because when he said, make a list of the people you would want to see as president, she said his name. And then he was just kind of like, well, you know that shit wouldn't happen. I couldn't get no support. She was like, oh, well, I just said it just to say it. And she was blushing. Does she like Hachiman? That's weird. I keep finding it weird, though, man, that these girls are actually just kind of into him. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Iroha is too, though, right? You know what I'm saying? Because she keeps making all these jokes about him trying to hit on her, which he's not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she keep making all these jokes. I think, especially in the end with her becoming the president, I think he's feeling more of an obligation to help her out because he's the one who convinced her to be the president. You know what I'm saying? And then the former president said something that I didn't even consider as an option. She was just like, you know, I thought that Yukino was going to win, Yui was going to be the vice president, and you know what I'm saying, were going to just, I forgot what she said. You were going to be something. So pretty much she thought that the new student council body was going to be the service club. I'm just like, wow, why didn't I think of that? Because they still would have technically all been together. And I think Hachiman even thought about this shit because he was kind of like, if you had a chance to reset some shit, would you? And he answered that shit with a resounding no. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I get that because there are moments in people's lives where you have these sort of regrets and you have these sort of things. You have these sort of, events that happen that you wish you could take back or that you could do over. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, would it change at all? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, right now, there are certain things when it came to my love life that I wish I could go back in time and change. But if I go back in time and change it, it would only be beneficial for the me of that time, because the me of now wouldn't change at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it already happened to me in this time, it would still have happened. So nothing about it would change for me here, other than that I would know that the me of the past would be with girl A, you know what I'm saying, instead of being with girl 1. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter to me anyway. But let me know what you guys think about this shit though, man. Are you feeling this shit though, man? If not, why? If you're not feeling season 2 of SNAFU, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you if you're not feeling this series though, man? It is possibly the best one of the fucking the anime season right now. Let me know what you think about this shit though, man. Vax and P. Go.